all your stuff. What can figure it out? That's how it chooses you.
Hello, Teresa.
Hi, Claire.
Welcome to It Chooses You Smidgen Edition, really.
That's right. So it's a really the Smidgen edition, darling.
Yes.
Our Smidgen editions are little tasty bites of pop culture, usually. You know, we'll let them be anything. But so far what they want to be is little tasty bites of pop culture. I tell Claire about shows, she tells me about shows, sometimes we watch shows together and tell you about them.
Think of it as like a tasty little pierogi of pop culture for your Sunday.
Pop culture pierogi.
The Smidgen is your job this week.
Yes, it's true.
What are you going to smidge on? Tea?
I am going to smidge on the fine Netflix teen drama, Sex Education.
Oh, cool. I told you I've watched half one episode
Yeah.
because something happened and I had to stop watching. Not because of the show, just because of life.
Yeah, when I texted you to see if you had watched it, I did not give Claire an assignment this week, but I texted her to see if she had watched it, and she said, I watched half an episode, and I said, perfect, that'll do, that'll do.
I saw one Gillian Anderson scene, and I was like, heck yeah.
Yes, she's very, very good in it. So, Sex Education is a teen drama about kids and how they learn about and deal with sex, very broadly. Gillian Anderson stars as the mom, Jean Milburn. Asa Butterfield stars as her son Otis. Emma Mackey is his love interest Maeve. I only mentioned my two favorite supporting characters, Ncuti Gatwa and Connor Swindles, who play Eric and Adam, respectively. Eric is Otis's best friend, and so most of the show is their relationship as they're trying to navigate learning about sexuality and discovering what their peers know and what their peers don't know. So the setup is that Otis's mom is a sex therapist. She has written a book. She sees a variety of clients. She talks very frankly with him about sex. And so he has that education coming from his home. He gets to this school and he realizes there's just a huge amount of really bad information floating around out there. And that his peers have questions about sex and sexuality that no one in the school administration is properly answering. And so it's run for 3 seasons. And of course, the administrative framework changes as we go. But the overall picture is that Otis becomes this like teen sex guru because he has some family education in it. And he and Maeve start a business where he charges people to do sex therapy, which is
I love it.
Super unethical because he's 13 or whatever, you know? But even with his small amount of real and correct information, he still knows more and has a better idea of the actual issues involved in having a sexual relationship, the emotional, psychological issues, as well as the physical ones, than most of his peers. So he's not qualified to be a therapist, but he knows a hell of a lot more than they do.
Right. What a wonderful premise.
It's such a great premise. It's pretty raunchy at times. Like, there are a lot of cocks. There are a lot of cocks. There are a lot of tits. There's very frank discussion of sexuality that we witness. We see sexual problems as they occur sometimes. I learned a lot personally now.
Right.
I'm basically watching it for my own education. No. But I really like it because it's one of these, and this is, I think, true of a lot of recent television, which is that it takes something that could very easily be played in an Animal House style, very superficial, played for raunch and for laughs, and it actually instead chooses to reflect the depth and conflict involved in human experience of sexuality and how we feel as we are learning to develop these kind of relationships. So they're of an age at the start of season 1 where they're still checking in with each other. Have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? And then like by seasons 2 and 3, it's just like everyone they're hanging out with is already having sex, and it's relationship issues that are the center of the show. Parent-child relationship issues. Gillian Anderson, Jean, Otis's mom, has a relationship with a man, and we see that sort of developing and changing. It's so excellent at portraying the like heartbreaking complexity of real human emotion.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at that. I'm not good at having them. I'm not good at dealing with them. You know, some of us are unfortunate enough that we only had like actual intimacy a little later than most people because of parental situations or whatever, where intimacy was not something we learned. And so watching it happen for people who are 14 and 15 years old, who are much more emotionally mature than a lot of the adults I know. It's such a lovely show. Yeah, so you watched half an episode, and apart from thinking, oh yes, Gillian Anderson, did you have any other thoughts?
It starts with a lot of different sexual situations. The show just goes right into it, which I think is the thing to do. I was a little jarred and uncomfortable, especially because the characters, not the actors, are young. So I was like, whoa! But I could also tell that it had a distinct perspective, and I'm always attracted to that.
Yeah.
So that was my initial reaction, but I am intrigued and I can't wait to continue watching it.
I like it very much. When I watch something, there's usually one relationship that I'm more interested in than the others. And while the Otis and Maeve relationship is technically the heart of the show, I think for me, the most interesting thing to watch has been the Eric and Adam relationship evolve over the course of 3 seasons. So Eric and Otis are best friends. Eric and Adam. The Eric and Adam relationship is interesting and has come in for a lot of fair critique from LGBTQ plus community writers because Adam is a bully and Adam is Eric's bully and Eric is a black gay man. For the first season, Adam is basically just terrorizing this kid. For me, the amazing thing about Eric as a character is that he is so positive and joyful and optimistic and happy, and watching him get bullied and watching that not affect him as badly as it probably would a non-TV character, right? In real life, that kind of bullying is going to affect you more. But watching on screen, watching him stay resilient and happy and optimistic and joyful in the face of that bullshit was really great. And then in later seasons, it's revealed that Adam is closeted and that he is sexually attracted to men and to Eric, and they end up getting together for a period. Right. And so there's a lot of valid critique there. Like, the closeted bully is a really tired trope. The fact that the bully gets together with his victim and that the victim gets together with his tormentor, there are lots of issues there. I recommend you looking up those articles to read people who understand those issues better than I do and how they talk about them. And their relationship, Eric and Adam's relationship, is the most tender and interesting part of the show for me. And Connor Swindles, the kid who plays Adam, is a fantastic actor. Fantastic. His father is a bully, which is why he becomes a bully, essentially. He has been bullied his whole life, and so he is a bully, which is not to excuse the behavior, but to provide context for it.
Sure.
And watching him grow out of those choices and start to make different choices. And you and I talk a lot on this podcast about watching people make the wrong choices over and over again and wondering why they don't change. They've been given an opportunity, they've had this information, and they don't do anything with it. Well, the character of Adam does something with the information, and he makes different choices. And watching that happen is the most hopeful and wonderful thing that I have seen on television in a long time. Oh, I choke up just thinking about it.
Well, especially with that bully trope, because that bully trope is the whole thing about the bully is they don't change. A trope doesn't change.
Right. A bully is a bully, for sure. I could talk about it for a very long time, but I won't. Maybe you'll watch it and we'll talk about it again. We'll have Sex Ed 2 in a few weeks.
That sounds great.
Because I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. I mean, certainly Claire and I are going to discuss it privately in the coming weeks as I keep pestering her to watch it. Season 3 came out, I think, on the 17th. I think it hasn't even been 10 days yet. And I, of course, have watched the whole thing multiple times. So there are 3 seasons out, and I saw online that season 4 is confirmed. And so the saga will continue. Please go check it out. It's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much, Teresa.
Thanks, Claire.
Like, subscribe, and download our episodes if you enjoyed this. Also, we have a Patreon page. It's patreon.com/itchoosesYou if you'd like to help us keep the podcast ad-free. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Testing. Great.
Thank you for listening to It Chooses You. Your hosts are Teresa Sparks and Claire Patton. Our theme song is by Bobby Dart. If you'd like to get in touch with us, drop us an email at itchoosesyouPodcast@gmail.com.